A move rights group and expert says discriminatory and could deepen societal divisions. The government said that about 12,000 girls would be affected by the new law. The law prevents girls younger than 14 from wearing headscarves that cover the head in accordance with Islamic traditions in all schools. Austria's conservative-led government, under pressure with the anti-immigration sentiment is running high, proposed the ban earlier this year, arguing it is aimed at protecting girls from oppression. In 2019, the country introduced a ban on the headscarves in primary schools, but the Constitutional Court struck it down. This time, the government insists that its law is constitutional, though experts have suggested it could be seen as discriminating against one religion. Now, the whole issue is that a lot of people say that it is not just an item of clothing, but it sexualizes girls. Now, on this issue, I am joined by Francisca Merino, author and a South Asia expert. She joins me from Rome. Madam, your opening comment on the law that has been passed, and how do you see it?
Well, I see it as a completely right law to pass, and Austria is not the first country. Several Western countries, European countries now are passing same laws. I don't see the problem. Well, I think the problem is some way been shifted from the actual issue, which is imposing the veil on little girls and women, to an anti-immigration sentiment. I think it has nothing to do with it. I think it has a lot to do with the culture of European countries. And also, we fought for years to gain a certain kind of rights for women. Couple of 1,000 years ago, the Christian Church did not consider women even humans. There's been a council to establish women had a soul. From there, 1,000 years passed, 1,000 years of cultural changes. This is where we are. We stand for equality. And why we should allow the symbols of submission in our secular institutions, it's something I don't understand. And again, it is not against a particular religion or a particular section of immigrants. It is valid, at least in France, at least in Italy. It is valid for any other religious symbol. So the real question is why? Why certain sections of society, well, what has become society in our countries, always want special treatment? In name of what? And
is it correct when people say that the scarf sexualizes the girls?
Well, I don't know, and I don't think so. Yes, in this sense, if you say that the veil protects a woman from male gazes and male lust, yes, you sexualize little girls because you imply they need to be protected by men that cannot resist on finding a 5-year-old a sexual symbol or object. In this sense, yes. But again, I don't think this is the problem. The problem is wider, and it is secular societies against religious.
Francisca, is it also because of the fact that the immigrants that Europe is taking in are not getting culturally acclimatized to the values of the countries like France, Italy, Austria?
Yeah. Yes, and I'm not saying all immigrants, because, elephants in the room, somebody has to say it, are not immigrants, are particular sections of immigrants. in general, Muslims, in particular, certain Muslim coming from certain kinds of countries. But is not, yes, they don't want to be integrated. They don't want to accept the culture of the country, any country. The only culture they know and they are ready to accept is their own culture, which again, everything is fine. We have
Francisca, there's another issue. Francisca, there's one more issue. You know, the first generation which migrated wanted to be part of the culture. The second and the third generation is becoming more radical. Why is that happening? More conservative?
Because the moment they see, I give you an example.
Okay.
Italian. We have been a nation of immigrants for centuries. Okay. The first thing Italian families would do the moment they set foot in America or in Canada or in any other country for working, but especially in America, was forbidding their children from speaking Italian, well, their own dialect, and pushing them to speak English, sending them to schools because they wanted them to be part of that society. Italy stayed in the food, Italy stayed in the language. Grandmothers would speak at home, but Italians or Irish or any other European nationality became perfectly integrated.
Okay.
This is not happening now. The moment they set foot here, and you start wondering why, because if you claim you are running away from a culture and a country which is oppressing you, why do you want to reproduce exactly the conditions you are running away from in a European country?
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And it's also a lesson that immigration has to be regulated. It cannot attempt to change the culture of the host country. Francisca, thank you so much for joining me for Milan on this issue. So that's a wrap on Point. But before that, I leave you with a sneak peek into Thalaivar's life as he turns 75, the man who is nothing short of a phenomenon.
सोच रहा हूँ टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस ले लूं ताकि मेरे बाद फैमिली को पैसों की कमी ना हो।
तू भी ले ले। अबे जल्दी क्या है, बाद में देख लेंगे। आराम से आराम से आराम से। अब तक कुणाल को हार्ट अटैक आ गया यार।
पॉलिसी बाजार पर 0 GST के साथ अब 1 करोड़ का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 400 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
हर स्वाद में बसा, हर दाद में बसा, ये मेरा चीज है।
50 सालों से जो बना इस देश की शान, वो है अमूल चीज।
लाइफ जब भी आगे बढ़ने का मौका दे तो अपनी सुपर पावर, अपना गोल्ड यूज करिए और IIFL फाइनेंस से गोल्ड लोन लीजिए।
IIFL फाइनेंस करता है सीधी बात।